Well, CoastLife, you know we love to celebrate all things artwork, whether it's visual arts, performing arts, and with our friends at Possum Point Players, they like to start them young when it comes to the theatrical experience. So we've got two friends joining us on the CoastLife couch today. We've got Johnny Morehouse and Lorraine Level with Possum Point Players and really Possum Juniors today, and for a really fun and wacky show, some might say. So Johnny, you're the director of the show.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about what audiences are in store for when it comes to WCKY.
Well, WCKY takes place in 1939 in the middle of the Great Depression, and the station owner, Darla Van Owen, has sunk all of her assets from everything before the Depression into this radio station to really give the people of America during the Depression a good time, and she wants to make sure nothing goes wrong. Mm-hmm. But it seems like there's some little sabotage on the inside, and some of her crew and actors wind up dead. And the head writer gets blamed for it and is trying to prove his innocence throughout the entirety of the show.
Very fun, and I think a radio station is a perfect setting for a wacky story like that. Even though we keep saying wacky, it's a murder mystery, but it's one of levity, right?
Yes, yeah. It's technically classified as a farce, so it has those comedy elements to it.
Sure, perfect. Well, I think that's just important for people to know, so they're not like, why are these guys performing such a heavy play? It's going to be fun. I also think in an interesting way, and maybe a challenge for you and some of your peers with Possum Juniors, putting on a play that's set at a radio station, which, I mean, for you guys is sort of an outdated setting, really.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a struggle for the people who play the actors on the radio station, mm-hmm. Because they're used to acting with their bodies. One thing that's drilled into actors very early on is that you don't just act with your voice, or especially if you're a singer, sure. It's not just your voice. You have your face, you have your hands, like I'm doing right now. You talk with your hands, you talk with your body. You can tell if somebody's mad, angry, or sad just by the way they're, standing. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for them to understand that, you have to convey all that through just your voice. Lorraine,
you're the trustee advisor with Possum Juniors. How is it fun for you every time to see these kids get on stage?
It really is, and this program is so unique here. Possums has been around for 52 years, but PJ's has been around for a fair amount of those years, and what makes it really cool is the juniors, which are comprised of middle school and high school students, are the ones that are putting this whole show together. They are directing, they are mm-hmm. acting, they are organizing the costumes, the lights, the set, the props, and taking that ownership. So it's wonderful to see the next generation of actors and creators finding their path along the way.
And how would you encourage maybe other kids in that age group to join PJs and Possum Juniors and maybe start dipping that toe in the theater pool?
Well, I always get the usual excuses. I'm nervous, mm-hmm. or I don't know if I'm going to do well, if I'm going to be good, or I don't know if I'll like it. And something that my theater directors at my high school told me that always sits with me is if you try it, you're not going to hate it. You might not like it.
Sure.
But you're not going to hate it. And so, even if you don't like acting on stage or anything like that, if it turns out that it's not your thing, you're still going to have fun doing it, whether or not you liked it or not. And so that's what I always say to people.
So I know a lot of people, maybe are hearing this and either want to get their kids involved with Possum Juniors, and also a lot of people hearing this and they want to come out and see WCKY. So where can they go for more information, as well as where they can go to purchase their tickets?
The tickets and information, cast list, everything you need to know about our production are available at www.possumpointplayers.org. Tickets are $15, just right across the board, and we open on
July 25th, 26th, and 27th at 7 p.m., and 2 p.m.
Perfect. There you go. We've made some plans for you for the coming weeks here on CoastLife. Thank you guys so much for coming in, and thank you guys so much for what you were doing in the world of theater and for the community.
No problem.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Coming up on CoastLife, Charlie and I are going to be talking a little bit about some national anthem renditions. You don't want to miss it.